Can't stop thinking about it. What I lost and how you came and took it all. All I know, the fire's burning, burning, burning inside. I need to lose control. I cannot let this go. Whoa. I'm here to win it all. 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 Ain't leaving nothing for ya. 'Cause I'm here to win it all. I'm here to win it all. They say I've gotta let this go, but they don't know how much I've lost. All I know is that it's in your arms. I've gotta take it back, take it back. I'm here to win it all. 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 Ain't leaving nothing for ya. 'Cause I'm here to win it all. I'm here to win it all. La 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 la. 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 La 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 la. I'm here to win it all. 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 I'm here to win it all.
When you say you're ready, yeah, you know you have to go. Green light steady, yeah. Just move where the traffic go. We all have plenty, yeah. Just know got the capital, yeah. And we party like an animal. And I always get a number to think about it. Oh yeah, yeah, we live life, don't worry about it. Oh yeah, open your eyes, I can tell you about it. Oh yeah, 'cause we got the strength, yeah, we haven't seen. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. And we got the time we can spend, yeah, 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 yeah. Celebrate, live up your life, yeah, live up your life, yeah, live up your life, yeah. Celebrate, live up your life, yeah, live up your life, yeah, live up your life, yeah. Aiming for the top, yeah, you gotta aim and take your shot, yeah. Celebrate and live up your life, yeah, live up your life, yeah, live up your life, yeah. So everybody toast, you're doing the most. Yo, when the kids stepped in the function, my had racks in abundance. 'Cause I remember days in the bunk beds, back when I only dreamed of the hundreds. Then it was counting thousands on the mountains, look where we come from. That's why we sip rum, have fun. So big man, sit there, have some. Oh yeah, you haven't lived life, don't worry about it. Oh yeah, open your eyes, I can tell you about it. Oh yeah, 'cause we got the strength, yeah, we haven't seen. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. And
to Zen set no more!
Korea's win! Immortals! Claim their
Welcome to Icons 2022 live from the Suntec Convention Center in Singapore. It is day 3 of the group stage, the winners bracket. I'm Mika Fabs, and joining me for big brain analysis of every single match, it's Omo and Hell's Devil. Welcome, gentlemen, and welcome to Omo. It's been a while since we've seen you here on the desk.
It's been a while since I've seen you, Mika.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we're not friends. And we don't see each other.
There's a
at
reason
all.
for that.
Yeah.
Zeus knows.
Guys, can we also talk about me being the only one not having a colorful
I know.
shirt?
Yeah.
I like the look though.
Did you not get the memo?
I did
Yeah.
not.
You
I
did not check your email. Did you not? Hell's also ignores us apparently.
When
all
I'm
the
on the
other
analyst desk, I'm not colorful. I just focus on analysis.
Yeah, yeah. I like this
bad boy
dynamic
of the
though.
desk.
He
Yeah. He
is.
took
Look
my
at this.
job.
Yeah, you do look very, very slick though. And Omo, that is a great shirt.
What can I say? I love me some Coca-Cola.
Of course, we all do. We all do, actually. But let's jump right into a little bit of a storyline from yesterday. I am so interested because, okay, so clearly we still have the WRL teams on top, Omo, and it's going to be really interesting today. We have a lot of time to talk about that.
Yeah.
But with yesterday, I mean, it still looks like they are so clean.
Yeah, the WRL, the storyline right now is they have not bled in groups, didn't even drop a game, much less a series. And if you look back at the play-ins as well, WRL dropped 2 games in groups, not series, individual games.
Yeah, I love how you say games, right? They dropped 2 games, wow, but they played so many series, and in
Yeah.
all of those series, they just dropped 2 games. That's crazy.
And if you consider the context of those 2 games as well, Nova turned it on after their loss against Furious
Oh, yeah.
Gaming. They look like a completely different team.
And it was kind of unlucky losses as well. So it was not like the other team won like super hard or anything.
Wasn't dominant.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
dominant. They just lost with some misplays, and it was like, yeah, that's
And
crazy.
JDG too, for them to lose that comeback game against RRQ,
Oh.
RRQ had to have a miracles after miracles, in fact, to come back against JDG.
Exactly. They definitely pushed that team to their limits. But Hells, you know, of course, I do love my boys at RQ. I am a fan right now, though, of the Brazilian teams.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta admit it. I'm falling in love with them.
We talk a lot about the WRL, but we gotta talk about the Brazilian teams as well. I mean, yesterday they played so incredibly well. Liberty against Rostowai, sure Liberty lost, but they showed such a good performance against
close.
the #1 team of Korea, and also Omega Esports winning. It's just crazy to see these teams. They took a whole series from an SCA team who also looked like an unbeatable team to us.
Yeah, and frankly, it pains me to say this, but the Omega win over BRU, it was pretty dominant.
That was good.
It was not really close.
Yes, and again, I fell in love with them too. They were so creative and they look so good on stage. I'm so excited to see what else the Brazilian teams have to offer, especially now that every single team is going to be pushed their limits with the last days of the group stages. It's gonna get really spicy for sure, but Omo, since it's been some time since you've been here on the desk, I have to ask, you know, we've heard, you know, most of the analysts here are top 5 players to watch. We haven't heard yours though, just yet.
There's a reason why. Production has saved the best for last. And if you take a look at my top 5 players to watch, you see a very clear reason why. These are 5 of the best teams, 5 of the best individual players.
It's all
7 on one.
junglers.
It's all junglers, and that's not a coincidence as well, Hells. These are the best players, having the best junglers, the teams that play best around their junglers, sets you up for success here in the Icons meta.
And it's crazy to me that, like, indeed, I agree with this list. Right now, I would probably make the exact same list. Like, it's just the junglers that seem to be so incredible. They're such incredible players, and Long, especially Zizou from Team Flash. Like, funnily,
matchup.
it's 4 junglers from Chinese teams as well.
And Zizou, right?
Yeah,
Who's
and
popping
Zizou.
off.
Well, it's no coincidence that you have these 5 players right here because we're actually going to see them play
All of them.
today. All of them, exactly, all of them. So it's going to be, oh, okay, all right, flexing a little bit
starting
here
it off.
on the desk. Okay, well, it's time for us to give the stage over to others who may want to flex because I know that all of you at home think that you've got the skills to be on that stage, actually, that very stage. And I know this because you've sent us your best Wild Rift clips using the hashtag RiftPopoff. So today we're focusing on your best pentakills. It is time to see your skills in our Coca-Cola Wild Reactions, starting with Milok Official.
All right, let's take a look at what it is. Of course, it's a Tristana. Tristana is one of those champions that has a reset, right? Whenever she gets a kill, she jumps and she gets more kills. So you can see that's a double kill, and I love how he keeps going, right? Like he's thirsty for the kills. He wants to get everything, and doesn't matter if he dies. You know that moment, right? Like you see here, he's 1 HP. He keeps going for the Ezreal. One ultimate and he's dead. And oh, there it comes. He dodges it as well, and there you go. He gets it. Boom.
Woof. We call that woof.
Oh.
And next up, we have Aurelianos. Hey, Omo, 2 guesses which champion this guy mains, and the first one's wrong.
Well, you look at his proficiency on the champion, and you can tell he's definitely very practiced on it. Right now, Yao's a bit early. The exhaust is still on, but pay attention to what he does next. The way he navigates his stars around the fight, getting maximum AoE damage down. This is one of the most well-deserved Panthers I've seen.
Aurelion Soul players are probably the scariest players in Wild Rift, and his name is Aurelionos as well.
Exactly, his namesake. And now we head on over to Zan with Goku Zeno on the Jinx.
And of course, it's a Jinx. Yeah, that's another reset champion. It's like the Darius and the Tristana, right? As you can see, the enemy just can't do anything. He's killing everything. He even kills Annie's barrier. He's not leaving anything. And you can see, right? Assassins are trying to do something, but there he hits the Akali with his second ability, which reveals her. Gets the quadra kill. Evelyn tries to one-shot, but of course it doesn't work. He's gonna kill Evelyn as well.
No damage at all from the Evelyn at the end there, and that was a sick pop-off. Take a look now at Darlene Hill here. This is a really sick play. I love how he pre-planned that. Kind of baits the enemy team into thinking, you know what, maybe let's chase. Maybe we've won the fight. Pops right back. Triple kill just like that. This one was super sick, my personal favorite.
Oh my god, that triple kill with the ultimate. How crazy was that?
Really clean stuff. It shows clear planning. Now TF comes in, tries to taunt him a bit with the Grandmaster emote, but nope. You don't play around with Darlene Hill, yeah.
Echo plays are just so flashy.
Yeah.
I mean, you just gotta love them, and those were some impressive pentakills. So good job to these 4, and don't forget to submit your own clips using the hashtag #RiftPopOff. Now we have 4 big matches today, gentlemen, with the winners clinching their way into knockouts. It's gonna be a big day.
Yeah.
It is gonna be a huge day, and first up we have Nova Esports versus Team Flash, then J-Team versus RRQ, Omega versus Fun Plus Phoenix, and JD Gaming versus Rollster Y. Hey, look at this. Look at these matches. You can see that all 4 WRL teams will be playing today, and you have challengers going up against them. So just this little interesting bit. I want you guys to actually rank the teams in order of most likely to least likely to beat a WRL team today. Omo, why don't we'll start with you, House.
Okay, so the number 1 is
Let's
Team
skip
Flash. Obviously, it's Team Flash. And then after that, I think RRQ. And after that, I'm not even going to mention names because I don't think they'll have a single chance beating
Oh.
Team Flash, I think they can. RRQ on a good day, and then the rest, I don't think it'll happen.
All right. Oh, now it's your turn. I'm going to troll you a lot on the desk today.
I think it's very fair. I'm used to it, Mika. I'm ready for that. I think this one is going to be an Attack on Titan kind of vibe here, right? Every single team across the world trying to take down the WRL. The one with the best chance to do it individually as a team. It's going to be Team Flash behind us right now. I think they're just the best team set up to take down the WRL. But if you look beyond that, I think RRQ has the best matchup as well. I think they have a very good chance, like Hell said, on a good day to take down J-Team.
Would you guys believe me if I said that it was like RRQ that was going to be most likely to take down a WRL team? Hell just scoffed.
I wouldn't believe that. I think it's Team Flash.
I believe it.
Like, that's the one team that can beat a Chinese team.
But yeah, Team Flash definitely have a good chance, especially with what we saw yesterday. But for now, it is time to look at the first matchup of the day. It is Team Flash versus Nova. Let's hear from 2 of the stars of that matchup, including Team Flash mid laner Coyote and Nova jungler Long.
Xin chào mọi người, mình là Coyote, mình đến từ Team Flash, mình chơi vị trí đường giữa. Cảm giác của em khá là vui và hào hứng khi mà cuối cùng thì em cũng được ngồi ở trên sân khấu lớn và hoành tráng đến như vậy. Trước khi bắt đầu trận đấu thì em cảm thấy khá là tự tin vì em rất muốn được đánh giải và đây cũng là trận đấu đầu tiên và kết quả là 2-0 dành cho team em thì em cảm thấy không có gì bất ngờ cả. Trong lúc diễn ra trận đấu thứ 2 thì team bọn mình có khá là nhiều lợi thế và sau đó bọn mình đã vui đùa và kiểu quăng game khá là nhiều và mình cảm thấy khá là không hài lòng như vậy. Nhưng mà sau đến cuối cùng thì bọn mình vẫn chiến thắng và cũng thấy khá bình thường. Thì em cảm thấy đối với em thì đây là mùa giải đầu tiên của tốc chiến tại Việt Nam và em cảm thấy khá là tự hào và hãnh diện khi đại diện Việt Nam. Thật ra khi đến với giải đấu lần này thì bọn mình cố gắng hết sức để chinh phục những Thật ra khi đến với giải đấu lần này bọn mình sẽ cố gắng chinh phục được chức vô địch và tất nhiên rồi mấy bạn có thể đánh giá thấp bọn mình nhưng đó là lúc mấy bạn chưa gặp mình mà thôi.
大家好，我是诺尔大野龙。现在感觉蛮开心的。他们打得过于保守，慢慢被我们赢下了游戏。接下来和 TF 的对决中不需要担心什么，就我个人压制打野就好。他们顺利进入小组赛的话，也是因为没有遇到我们吧。我觉得只要我们做好，我再稍微加把力，应该可以拿下。我觉得接下来的比赛可以见真章。希望大家多多支持我们吧，多多支持我。我觉得有机会吧，先慢慢走下去吧。希望接下来比赛自己能做到最好吧。
Wait. Did he just say, hopefully I could do better
He's
in the
not
following
satisfied.
Did he say that? He's not satisfied with the games that he played. He had double the amount of gold of the enemy jungler in multiple games. How is he not satisfied?
I'm not satisfied with how he's played, frankly. I feel like
Wow.
Long has so much more in the tank. You look at how he performed domestically, I think we haven't seen 100% yet.
Oh, that's very scary indeed, especially since they're going up against an SCA team.
Yeah.
Now, Omo, I think it's clear because we saw your top 5 players earlier. This is definitely going to be a jungle matchup. I mean, we just heard from Long. It is going to be very difficult, especially since Long is feeling so confident. And as we just saw, he's going to do better.
Well, I hope he does better. I want to see 100% from Long today. So when Zissou beats him, it's going to be that much sweeter.
Oh my gosh. But it seems as though Nova Esports, they do have a game plan as well, Omo, because they mentioned that all they have to do is to target their jungler. And you mentioned this is going to be a jungle matchup with your boy Zissou and Long.
I think that's a very good call from Long, and what that also shows is the trust that he has in his teammates. He knows that if I keep Zissou down, Team Flash doesn't really have the firepower, but I just need to do my thing and the rest of my team will deliver, and I think he's right on that front too.
And another matchup we need to talk about is the Baron lane matchup. Shy against Yize. These were both incredible Baron laners. Here we can see between Zissou and Long though. I mean, look at that damage per minute from Zissou right there. That's crazy.
I think Team Flash, they've only played 2 games so far, right? 1 series, but they were on fire in that series.
Explosive.
They look like the true Team Flash that we saw in the WCS finals. That gives me a bit of faith because the last time we saw a Vietnamese team come to the international stage, not the best performances, but yesterday Team Flash were on fire and I have hopes.
Well, Hells, you brought up the Baron lane matchup as well, so it's going to be interesting to see. I think we do have the stats as well from Shai and Ize, but are we seeing contrasting styles here? What are we expecting from this lane matchup?
So both really like to play the Renekton. It's definitely going to be played in that lane, and they were both just great as well. We keep talking about the jungle matchup, but there, as you can see, both have the exact same KDA, and of course, Shai has much more damage because of their explosive games. He does so much damage. Now, I'm just curious whether or not Team Flash can keep this up against Nova as well. I mean, if Shai can deal nearly 1,400 damage per minute, that's a lot of damage. He's going to carry the game.
Yeah, frankly, yesterday, T1, the number 3 seed from the WCK, not a big test for Team Flash. Today will be their true test. And why I really like this matchup between Shai and Ize as well is because of the champion pools, the diverse play styles of both of these 2 players. They can play the tanks, the Shen, the Dariuses, the Renektons if need be, but they can also play the carry. Ziza's amazing on Akali. Shai will play Lucian top. Pay attention to these picks today because they will be a huge part of the series.
And the thing is, if Team Flash cannot beat Nova, no one can, right? Like,
Oh no! No! Hells, you're ruining my
except for the
copium here!
WRL teams, of course. But like that's the whole thing. If Team Flash cannot do it, like this is a true reality check that we're gonna be getting in the next game. Like, how much better is the WRL really? Are they gonna stomp Team Flash right now, or are they gonna have hard time, or are they gonna even lose to Team Flash?
Exactly. I do agree with you, though. I do think that Team Flash is SEA's best hope to try...
world's best hope.
The world's best hope
indeed.
to try and make the gods here bleed. So it's gonna be so exciting today because we do have 4 teams that will be challenging the WRL teams. And first up will be the Vietnamese squad with Team Flash. Now, Omo, I do want to bring up like a little bit of an X factor here. Team Flash, they can be cheeky with their drafts because like yesterday we did see Coyote on the Ashe
Oh, I
to
love that.
incredible success.
Back in WCS, we know Coyote as a player who loves to roam, who loves to gank. He's famous for picks like Twisted Fate, like Sidge. But the man has taken it up a notch. He's decided, you know what? I don't need to roam to your lane to gank your lane anymore. I'll just play Ashe, shoot my arrow from mid lane, and I'll be able to gank side lanes from anywhere on the map.
And I was very skeptical about it because he was up against Jong on that Riven, for example, which is a champion that can dash away, but somehow, some way, he just hit it every time. Like here you can see it, right? Every single
He's
time.
curving it, look at that.
Curving it like David Beckham. This guy is just crazy every single
Bending
time.
it like Beckham. There you go.
Like, I honestly, I've never seen an Ashe like this. I've seen the EU Ashes, the NA Ashes, who miss like half of the shots, but that's normal. This guy just doesn't miss. And the fact that he played Ashe mid lane and made it work like that, that's just crazy to me.
You know the saying, right? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Coyote misses 0% of the shots he takes. It's all of them. And this guy, if you look at his champion pool as well, in the WCS, in locals, in regionals, and even now in internationals, you wouldn't be able to tell that he's a mid laner. He has a lot of picks, a deep champion ocean. He plays Garen mid, Darius mid, Ashe mid. Actually, that's it. I kind of ran out of picks.
That's crazy already.
No. I'm sure there's a lot.
right?
There's a lot more. There's a lot more for sure. Let's take a look at each of the brackets heading into day 3 of groups. First up, Group A with this spicy matchup that we have first. I think it's going to be interesting that we could see a rematch between Nova and T1 or Team Flash and T1 Hells.
Oh yeah, the rematch is it may happen. I mean, T1 is up against Leviathan, who is... We don't even know how good Leviathan is because they got absolutely smashed by the WRL teams. Yet again, like, we still need to get that reality check fully.
Yeah.
But yeah, Leviathan against T1 is going to be a banger match. And obviously Team Flash against Nova as well. And yeah, it's going to be like... Are the bottom teams going to be able to beat either Team Flash or Nova, who's going to be losing today, right?
Exactly. That's gonna be the big question. Moving over to Group B this time, and this is the one that I definitely have my eyes on for all the right reasons, and that is of course RRQ. They will be up against JT though, JTeam, and of course Hells over here. We have Team Queso. How are their chances going out of this lower bracket run?
Can we just not talk about it?
No.
RRQ against J-Team. We have such a good matchup on the top bracket of the lane. Oma, what are you... No, I'm joking.
Oh.
So, yeah, Team Queso chances are looking slim. You know, they're up against Sangoku Gaming, which they did lose against in the Horizon Cup, but yeah, that's...
But I like that group, right? I like the lower bracket there because, like you said, the power rankings aren't really fleshed out yet.
Yeah.
A lot of regions haven't played each other yet. Every time you play against WRL, you get 2-0. So this is a good chance to see Europe against Japan. How does that stack up?
Oh, yeah.
And of course, RRQ against J-Team. We'll see that later today. That is a really hype matchup for me. I think the styles there will be very exciting to watch.
You need to refill your copium, Hells. You need a refill
It can
of
still
that.
happen. It can still happen, right? Like, that's the thing with Team Queso. They ramp up throughout the
There we
tournament. but
go. There we go. There we
They
go.
could beat Sengoku.
They could beat Sangoku, but then they gotta beat another one as well.
Well,
That's the
we
thing.
won't talk about that, but
Yeah.
they could beat Sengoku.
Leave it at that. Stop
Yeah.
there. Stop there. We'll move over to Group C now, and this is a very, very interesting group that we have.
Yes.
It's going to be Fun Plus Phoenix versus Omega Hells.
Oh, and I love that one because Omega Esports had such a good performance, you know, from the region of Brazil, the top one, showing why they are the #1. They're up against FPX, which is the #1 team of the WRL. Omega did have some cool picks like the Lux and the Ashe combo, which I absolutely love. They got so many catches with it, but is it gonna work against FPX?
Well, probably not. I don't think a lot of things work against FPX. Not to take anything away from Omega, their performance yesterday was amazing. Sorry, 2 days ago, right, against BRU. But I would love to see the BRU Flash Wolves matchup as well in the lower bracket. See Team Kill. It's finally happening.
I'm shedding a
And I
tear.
believe in
I'm
the
shedding a
WCS
tear.
finals, we didn't see these two teams face off as well. So if BRU get back to form, maybe we'll see an exciting matchup there.
And finally, Group D, just really, really quickly before we get into our matchup, we have here Group D, which is also really interesting because it seems as though Roster Y might be the best chance for this group to defeat a WRL team.
You know what I find the most interesting is the Immortals against Liberty team because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
NA against Brazil. We know how much pressure there is or tension there is between EU, NA, and Brazil, right? So that one is gonna matter a lot.
Icy matchup
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
But we had some trash talk coming in from Chom, right? It wasn't really trash talk, but he tried.
Yeah, he tried. It was
Right.
very wholesome trash
Yeah.
talk. Acceptable, okay. All right, gentlemen, let me hear your predictions for this first matchup.
You're gonna be surprised by this one, okay? I am not gonna stand with the WRL teams. I'm gonna be going with Team Flash.
Oh, okay. We have a convert. Thanks for that, Hells. Thanks for
Welcome.
that. All right.
I got you.
Voting with your heart.
Yeah, voting with my heart, indeed. Like,
Good job. Good job. All right. Well, Omo, of course, joining me.
You don't even have to ask me here. Just look, I'm already repping Team Flash. I'm ready to go. Team Flash all the way. I think it's going to be a 2-0.
Oh, we're
wow.
going there. Okay, 2-0, 2-0. I actually think it might be a 2-1, but we'll see. I'll be happy with a 2-0 for sure. And the predictions are in, so I guess it's time for us, gentlemen, to get out of here, I suppose. We gotta go. We gotta go. The pre-show is done. And just, oh, this is yours.
Yeah,
Don't
I'm
want to wear that in
full on,
full?
by the way. I'm not even halfway
on.
with it. I am full on Team Vietnam right now. We got this from the Vietnamese translator. Very nice gift. Thank you very much. Team Flash, Vietnam. Let's go. 2-0. Redemption for Horizon Cup.
Oh.
Well, in just a few minutes, it is Nova versus Team Flash. Omo, you guys ready? You guys
I'm
ready,
ready.
House?
I'm
All
ready.
right,
I'm
2-0, 2-0. SEA Coffeeum coming here right at you. The full desk on board for it as well. Icons 2022 starts now.
Nunca joguei contra eles.
Against China, everyone is just getting absolutely destroyed.
Eu acredito que existe um gap muito grande entre as regiões top 1 e o resto.
Nova là một đội của Trung Quốc khá là mạnh. Mình thấy bọn họ có khá là nhiều chiến thuật. Và mình nghĩ đó sẽ là trận đấu rất hấp dẫn.
J-Team, this is gonna be a hard match with them.
我竞争这个位置的人也挺多的，大家操作想法也挺强的。目标是希望能拿到这次的冠军。
应该不需要担心那么多，就我把对面打野压制就好。我觉得接下来的比赛可以见真章。
我们队伍感觉比较有弱点吧，然后我们每条线上能力会比别的队伍厉害一点，比他们很自信。
J-Team, our match will not be easy like your other games. This is gonna be a bloody hell of the match.
Nobody's on marking this entire fight. The Baron spitting out arrows with the quadra kill.
We are coming for you.
感觉就之前自己送了3个队伍进入来考试，然后结果还自己人来，就比较不想错过这，就是上天安排的吧。 我们这次不会让你们失望的。
Team Flash, the #1 seed from SEA, the challengers to Chinese dominance, take to the stage opposite the Rift. Nova, #3 seed from the WRL in the heavyweight match of the upper bracket. Riku, happy to have you on the cast with me because today we get to see, does Team Flash live up to the hype?
I know, this is going to be a lot of expectations for Team Flash. The fact that they're going to be coming from an undefeated win streak from their local playoffs to the WCS and now to Icons. And there are, just as you mentioned, there are a lot of expectations. Because as we saw earlier in the teaser, the gap between the #1 region, which is the WRL, is a huge gap between the rest. This is the test. This is the time where we're going to find out if that's true or not.
And Team Flash is a team that everyone's putting their hopes on, the expectation on to challenge the WRL. And now this is, I mean, arguably one of the easier teams for them to go up against. J-Team, of course, being the only lower-seeded team to Nova here. And now we finally get to see, like we were saying, can they actually do it? Can they show that Vietnam is on the map in Wild Rift of the competitive stage? Obviously on the map. We know that they're good.
Yes.
But can they challenge that number one and prove that the gap isn't actually that big? That we can slot some of these SEA teams up there with the WRL representatives?
Yeah, exactly, right. When we look at the play style, when we look at the checklist, if Team Flash is able to take on games against the WRL, who is, by the way, also undefeated as a region in the entirety of Icons. So will we see that streak break today in this series as well?
Nova, crucially, was one of the WRL teams to drop a game.
Yeah.
Not a series, but they dropped a game to Furious in the play-ins group stage. Or the play-in stage, rather. Now in the group stage, again, when we look at the teams that Flash can get some reps in, get some practice in against WRL, I think that they're happy that they're up against Nova because this is also regional revenge for Horizon Cup. If we remember back to the semifinals, 2 SEA teams, 2 Chinese teams.
Yep.
But it was a China versus China final. The SEA team stumbled right at the finish line. And now this is a chance for Flash to right those wrongs because a win here, a win in this match, giving the WRL their first series loss will also qualify you for the knockout stage. That would be huge for Team Flash.
It's going to be incredibly insane. It's going to be a milestone, especially it will be a preview on how knockouts could possibly look like as well. So there's a lot on the line for this series. And I remember when we look back at the very first day of play-ins of Icons, you were talking about, hey, if there is a team that will defeat a region from the WRL, it's going to be Team Flash, because not only can they mimic and know how the WRL moves around the map early game, getting a lot of towers, getting a lot of gold. They do that as well, but with a big SEA flavor. I love it. Right, because when we look at Coyote in the mid lane, he can play anything. He can grab a lot of picks, important picks into the draft, something that you usually play in jungle and top, and put it in the mid lane, and that's one of their strengths. But also as well, the analyst desk has talked about it, Zissou and Shy at the top jungle duo.
Their damage per minute against T1 was insane. The two of them did 50% of the team's damage in that series.
It's crazy, right? So that means when we look at the way Nova plays as well, it's also towards top and jungle. So I am very confident, Kangas, that they can match them, not only match them, but beat them here in this series.
Stylistically, it's an exciting matchup. Narrative-wise and historical context-wise, it's an exciting matchup. But I'm happy we're starting to get into the nitty-gritty of how we expect it to go. A champion I think will be heavily prioritized will be Camille going into pick and ban as we see the teams on stage getting ready to hop into there. I have some quick stats for you here, Riku.
Gimme.
I love just tracking data through play-ins, through group stages, through international events. Camille is the third most played champion at 31 games with a 70.97% win rate.
That's
a lot of wins and a lot of games played. And when we look at teams that both prioritize the top half of the map, she can swap. She can go into multiple lanes. And I know you were saying this during the analyst desk. Omo didn't mention that Coyote also plays the Camille.
Yeah, he plays the Camille mid lane, and that's the strength, right? Omo mentioned he plays the Darius. He plays a lot of these picks that you usually see jungle or top side and can bring it into the mid lane. That's going to be their strength because you have no idea what's going on in the draft. You see a Darius, you see a Camille, where's that going to go?
It's impossible to predict, and that gives them so much flexibility because they're able to pivot midway through draft. That's what we saw in their T1 series, drafting the Ashe early.
Yep.
And then that was such a big moment when the casters were like, wait a minute.
Where is this going?
That's an Ashe mid lane. What's going on right now? So now Nova, they were definitely watching that. They're a team that we expect to do their prep work, to have a game plan coming into this one. And even in the hype video at the beginning, Team Flash mentioned that. Coyote said, look, we know that they're going to be prepared for us, so we got to go deeper into that champ pool and find something to still surprise them.
And there's a lot. Just as the analyst desk has mentioned, Coyote has that big, deep champion pool, champion ocean. And as well as, Zissou, I believe that one of his best picks will be the Lee Sin. And as we head on over to the draft, my biggest question would be, are these going to be targeted drafts? Because yesterday we saw a lot of targeted drafts against Long. But look at Nova! A lot of respect on Coyote's Ashe pick.
Immediate respect to the flexible Ashe in the draft and the Lee Sin. So as you're saying it, Nova have done their homework. They're taking away these comfort picks, these pocket picks, and these flexible picks from Team Flash.
It's going to be very interesting as well. Because again, it's hard to ban out Coyote, but on the other side, we saw teams yesterday try to ban out Long. So Team Flash removing Jax at least as the most popular jungle in the WRL, because late game, we know that this may even go towards late game, so they're going to remove that out of the equation.
Corki banned out as well, Yuumi and Jax, and it looks like potentially a failed lock-in final ban right there. Rough in a upper bracket finals for your group, but the Jax and the Yuumi make a lot of sense. Take that away from the likes of Yiza and Long, and then Yuumi also, Yami did play that in their last series too. It's a great effect. Now we get to see what the blue one priority is.
Karma?
We do still see, Karma is not banned, still has 100% presence in pick and ban so far. Wukong is up, Senna is up, so they go for the Senna.
I like this pick because it's very stable,
She
right?
looks so cool.
Very cool on stage. And I want to see if Nova's going to pick this with a Nasus. That means big scaling into the late game. Or you can go aggressive, picking up a Gragas, picking up a set, make that 2v2 hard for Ellie and MT.
And if there's anything that I've learned from the WRL team so far, it's that more often than not, they will go for the Senna Gragas. They actually like to have a little bit more early game and engage pressure here, rather than just go for the pure late game scaling. So if you're Team Flash, if you have the same read, you could go for the Gragas yourself, but no, they're going for the Singed and the Jays.
Okay, so Coyote plays a lot of Singe, right? So that is 99% sure that's going to be in Coyote's side. But this is Team Flash. You don't know what they're going to do. But I think the biggest mystery would be the Jace, right? There's a lot of flexibility going around. We saw yesterday the Jace jungle. But I feel like Coyote Shy, that means you need a strong jungle pair with that Jace if that's going to be Torch Shy. And with Lee Sin gone, what are your other options here? Especially Camille's open.
Yeah, Camille's up, and neither team have actually gone for it, so I'm feeling a little silly for mentioning that it's going to be such high priority. But potential for the win rate of it is maybe it's more conditional. It's locked in now. Nova say, all right, we'll take the highest win rate in the top 10 champions locked in at Icon so far, and they are going with the Nasus. So it is more of a scaling style of game.
It's scary because this unlocks the 4-1. We know how Nova is amazing at splitting the map, getting a lot of towers in the side lanes. And now for Team Flash, do you want to match that 1-3-1 potentially? That they have the Jace, and now they have the Olaf. I like this early game from Team Flash. The fact that Coyote can buy Proto Belt early, then boom, get Zissou ahead on this Olaf. Not as flashy as a Lee Sin, but it gets the job done.
Nova, we're looking at Team Flash's last series against T1, which both those games went pretty long. They were both 20 minutes around that mark. And I think we're assuming Team Flash would go for a slower style of game, but Team Flash, this is not a comp that will match a Senna Nasus Camille in the late game. This is meant to run over you early, get a lead, control objectives, and push the pressure in the game. Don't give Team Nova the chance to actually scale up. Give them no room to breathe.
And that will be very dependent on what the last two picks for Nova, right? Because so far, these are all late. What can match Team Flash's early to mid game? Because this seems to be very incredibly scary. Zeus is gonna set up early game dives for top side. And I suppose it will depend because Nova can pick up a Garen at top and to prevent any deaths in the early game.
True, they could go for the Garen top. I was looking at the bans from Team Flash, seeing the Shen and the Zed, because we've actually seen a lot of Zed picked into the Singed lately. A lot of mid laners are actually favoring the Zed matchup, but that's banned away from Team Flash, and now they go for the Rakan, so they can also force engage fights outside of just the Singed Proto Belt forward. I'm loving what Team Flash are drafting from a hypothetical standpoint. From everything fitting together, it's just going to come down to execution now.
Exactly, right? So there you go. That's going to be the Garen, just as we said, as Nova is expecting Zissou and Shy being super aggressive early. My biggest worry is Team Flash doesn't have wave clear, so this may prove to be a problem against Nova later on as they ban the Ziggs, they ban the Varus. What's going to top this up? What's your mid lane for Nian here?
I almost wonder if you go for something... Oh, yeah. I mean, that would be interesting. The Garen, I'm going to touch on that real quick while we give time for that final lock-in to come through. Actually, the 8th most played champion at Icons, 22 games, but only a 42.11% win rate. That's not as interesting, because we see the Echo locked in now.
What? Oh, okay. So let's go through the Echo
one at a
first.
time. Yeah.
Because I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so excited. So the Echo, this is what I'm looking for, right? Big level 3, big skirmish. If you pair it with the Camille jungle, I think this is a very strong mid and jungle duo as well. Therefore, Ize going to be taken out of the equation for now. But now,
And also the Morgana.
Oh, Morgana!
Other side of Team Flash.
all in on basically Shy and Zissou here with that pick.
Ragnarok for Olaf, Black Shield, presumably for Rakan.
Yep.
Although, I mean, you can put that on anybody. There's a lot of engage and a lot of denial of peel and counter engage. So Team Flash, they have one direction, and that is forward for game number 1 in a best of 3 to qualify for knockout stage against the WRL, the region everyone's hyping up. If you weren't excited before, you should be now, because this is a gauntlet being thrown by the SCA number 1 seed. Team Flash versus Nova Esports, game 1. Let's get into it.
Ooh, this is gonna be so hype, because we already talked about, earlier we were talking about the Garen going towards Ize, but that's gonna be the other way around. It's gonna be tank versus tank. So now Team Flash trying to get priority for the Singe.
This is something that I was wondering in the pick ban, because we saw the champion swapped around. It isn't the Camille in the jungle. It's Echo jungle, and they're putting Garen mid for Neon into Coyote. So that means that the Singe will have now a tank he's got to deal with. And they also can have this Echo get around the map, try and be a little more active in the early game.
And that's totally fine, because the matchup, what the analyst desk has already solidified, that this is going to be an Ize Long versus Shy Zissou duo. And how it's going to go, though, how it's going to go is that big,
Continue.
it's still a big skirmish-heavy composition duo, rather, for the Camille and the Echo, right? Big, strong level 3, big ult, you lock people down, and Shy is a very squishy champion. You are not going to survive the burst and the damage if everything is just funneled onto you. So that is the worry now, and I feel like Nova can execute that pretty well. Zissou, on the other hand, he's going to still be trapped in the Hextech ultimatum, basically. You lock him down, so that's going to be an arena. That's going to be a cage for him later on. So it makes me wonder if there's going to be early dives level 3.
We used to always see the combo being things like Camille with J4 and Galio, but Echo's kind of in that pool now too, as we see trades in the Baron lane. Ignite used by Shy and not from Ize. So that means Team Flash's Baron laner, you're going to have to probably just back here and reset.
It's really difficult to dive Ize in this game state, right? Because you don't have a lot of hold, you don't have CC, you're gonna get outplayed by a Camille. This could be the first skirmish.
Ooh, Long knocked up, hit by the Dark Binding, lands the stun onto Empty as well.
He's
Has
just
Smite,
hitting
so he's
Stellar.
fine.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. Like, okay, I know you don't have damage at the moment, so
It's like when your little brother is trying to start a fight with you. You're like, no, you're not scaled yet.
Yeah,
you
not
don't do damage.
I'm doing something.
Just leave me alone. Yeah, I gotta finish my homework. As now Empty, ooh, Black Shield, saving him right there.
Yeah, that would have been tricky, because that landed on a minion, and he's gonna burst. Don't want to get locked down. But so far, Nova is winning every single lane. Shy lost his summoner spell, didn't win that duel. MT as well, very low health, forced to back away and retreat. So this is so far a very good game for Nova.
Yeah, Team Flash have yet to find any kind of lead for themselves, and again, reminder, the later this game goes, the better it will be for Nova. You'll probably hear me say that a few times this game, and we're only 2.5 minutes in, so it's not like it's doomed by any stretch. As now Team Flash are actually looking for an invade here. Zissou taking away the Krugs, and we see the push mid, so now Coyote is actually coming in to join.
That's the play style of Team Flash. You get Coyote to roam early. We'll see if this 4-man dive is going to be possible.
Oh, there's a Hextech ultimate we're talking about. The stun does not land, but the hook shot reigns true. Ize gets the first kill.
And this is exactly what we expected. Shy is in a very squishy champion. Ize and Long is able to execute and terminate him, especially at this early game. And that's scary, because Ize is on a late game scaling champion. If he snowballs, no one can answer him on Team Flash.
And if he goes for the Hull Breaker as well, he can just take down turrets so quick. We'll be building towards either, it looks like going to be the Trinity Force coming in here for Ize. But now in Neon in the mid lane, this could be big for Team Flash. Grounded, can't flash away, but even has both summoner spells. He's just fine.
It is a Garen.
Oh, Divine Sunder, not the Trinity
Divine
Force.
Sunder a pickup. And it's going to be scary, right? Because Team Flash, the way that they're going to get kills here is around the first objective spawn. Rift Herald, we talked about this before. The WRL places a high priority on the Rift Herald because it just multiplies your gold because of the turret plates and as well as the map state. We'll see at this first dive.
He's is pretty safe right now. Hextech Ultimatum on cooldown. Same with Flash and Ignite, but he fancies going up here. Knocked up by Empty, who just jumps right back out. He's just trying to save the turret, and I think he will be just fine. Remake even walks all the way up here. So Team Flash, I think that they were hoping to rush the turret with 3 members here, overload one side of the rift, but they should not take this down. But as I say that, they just push in the next wave, and they get Flash out of Remake. Okay, that's what you want to see from Team Flash.
2v2 though at the bottom portion on the map.
Can you get a flip right now? There we go, right on with the Dark Binding onto Yami. Had the Flash available, might just turn it back around here. Finds so much space, so much time for Long to get out some damage. And now Neon joins in. Coyote in trouble, but does get away through the barrier, even saving the Flash. Okay, high action early game.
This is a win for Team Flash because they prevented Nova from getting that that trade rather at the bottom tower. So this time, this looks to me not a trade. They want to fight for this.
Ize and Shy are both coming in, joining up through the mid lane. Coyote's actually a little behind, so Team Flash, they need to be aware of this. Dragon stolen from Long, and now Nova, they look to take the fight here. They don't have the flank yet. Ize actually doesn't go around the blue buff, but even without a kill, they still get the objective.
Oh my word, wait.
Okay,
Yami?
oh, Empty and Coyote having a little bit of missed synergy right there. Coyote pulls Yami out of the battle dance.
Oof, that's tough. Infernal Drake was incredibly important for Team Flash because this is a low damage output composition if Shy doesn't get ahead, if Zissou doesn't get ahead. And now, do they want to fight this? Looks like that's going to be a no.
Now that's Herald for Nova. Things are going from bad to worse for the early game composition of Team Flash. They need to find something right here. They're going to make the play onto Yami. Coyote should take it up the turret and survives through it all. So maybe they can break open mid lane. That would be big, but the answer here from Remake and Long bursts down Zissou. And now Shy trying to retreat. Nova answer back.
They're able to get a kill, prevent the mid lane push, and then get another tower topside, and they even may push mid lane. This is so good for Nova, and everything fell apart from Team Flash at that Infernal Drake being stolen by Long.
4,000 gold in the lead at 6 minutes, 50 seconds. Doesn't get the top turret, but as soon as that goes down, that'll be another pretty penny in the pocket of Team Nova. The number 3 seed from the WRL showing just why this region is feared as Team Flash are struggling heavily.
This is going to be, we keep talking about the composition of Team Flash needs to win early, or else they're going to have a hard time in the later stages of the game. They're going to have to face Remake and Yami scaling late. Ize, who has been farming up a storm, already 6,000 alongside of Long. So the top and jungle duo of Nova are really doing a lot of hurt to Team Flash.
So let's check in on that. We said they need to win the early game.
Yep.
Have they done it, Riku?
They're not losing too hard.
Oh, okay. Hey, optimism.
Hard.
Optimism. All right.
Yep.
Neon gets pulled back, not rooted in there, but Zissou now coming down. Redemption should keep Neon just fine, and finally that Baron lane turret goes down. Even fancies another one, as he has another wave to push right now. Ellie should try and stop this. As now Reese's come through from Team Flash. Ellie can make it to the wave in time. I'm curious how many plates were taken, though. Okay, it looks like none.
The way that Nova plays, the way that the region of the WRL plays is just so crazy, because when you lose one thing, or rather when you lose a fight, you lose a dragon, for some reason Nova is able to translate that into 2 towers, to getting more gold, and this is the scary part. So the biggest question would be, every time you're up against Nova or a similar team from the WRL, how do you stabilize that gold when you've already lost like the 5 minutes of the game temporarily?
Riku, would you say they play wild? It's the catchphrase of the tournament. I had to do it.
It's true.
I had to do it. Unleash your wild, everybody. There you go. I had to slide one in there.
They are. I felt that.
5,000 in the lead. That is a wild gold lead right there. And Team Flash, they now have to figure out the puzzle. Solve the cube. How do we come back from a deficit like this? The only thing I can think of is look for some of these picks, look for some of the big engages from Empty, maybe picks with the Morgana, but Nova at this stage of the game, they're grouping up. They're already past the laning phase, like you were saying at the 4-1. Ize can go into a side lane, that's fine. Very hard to catch a Camille. Everybody else just groups up together.
And that's the scary part, because how can you get back into the game, stabilize the gold, if you can't find these opportunities? The fact that I see double redemption on the side of Neon and Ize, which is, of course, you've got the sustain, but it's also a scouting tool to make sure that Team Flash doesn't have any sneaky plays, which means they want to get a pick. Nope, we're going to deny that.
As well as the whole breaker completed on Neon. And once you get the Death Stance, I've seen a lot of Camille's. This is the standard build. They build more for just kind of 1v1 or potential team fighting, just burst down one member, and then eventually they'll get the Hull Breaker, usually around 3 items, which is very odd because a lot of players just think, oh, you rush Hull Breaker as soon as you can, get that value. But with Camille, it's like, you can scale. You can scale up first and then get Hull Breaker, and then the team on the enemy side is like, wait a minute, Camille just took turret like 5 seconds, but I'll get back to that here. Engage comes through, already Zisu's dead. When Nova are ready, they are ready. 2 kills picked up right as the Herald spawns.
That was massive. You know, Kangas, I was about to say the other chance that Team Flash can get back into this game is getting into a fight in the Rift Herald.
Yami's ready to fight right now. Gets knocked back by Shy. Empty doesn't land the knock up. Shy's locked out of the Hextech ultimatum. That's a Herald pickup and another kill to Nova.
And this is the snowball we're talking about. This play style, getting the Rift Herald, winning fights, more turret plates, more gold means more items, more damage output, I will win. And that's why Team Flash did that Infernal Drake earlier badly. And this is ballooning so incredibly fast. 301 already for Ize. And that's 9K for both the top jungle. Again, Long and Ize are in a very, very comfortable game state.
If I took both of these drafts and walked up to any of the analysts and said, yeah, Nova versus Team Flash were playing, and Nova got an 8,000 gold lead at 11 minutes. You would not think that Nova had this composition on the left. Like, it is insane that they are doing this right now.
Yes, because they got Ize for that big early lead, and then boom, they were able to pick up Zisu once more. Again, Olaf, even if you have Ragnarok, you're still going to be trapped in the Hextech ultimatum no matter what.
And wasn't able to get a lot done early. Like, look at this. Look what they're throwing in Neon. He's just like, all right, well, I'm just going to redemption, shrug it off. I got the honey fruit.
Yeah.
Could probably honestly just take a fight 1v2 against them right now.
He's literally a gatekeeper guard, making sure that the towers don't go down. I'm going to clear my wave. I'm gonna see you two. Okay, you're gonna leave. Okay, bye-bye. Try again next time. And these next times are not gonna happen anymore. It's really hard to shut down Neon with the composition that you have.
Oh, Zisu in the Hextech ultimatum will rage into the night and rage right back to the fountain. Didn't actually even pop the Ragnarok, just saving that cooldown for once he spawns.
Whew. Nova is getting everything right now, Kangas.
And at this point, I mean, Yami's already pretty much scaled.
Yep.
Like, this Nasus, pretty tanky. Even the Camille with that stance, pretty tanky. But as I say it, the pick comes through for Team Flash. He's now in trouble as well. Has the flash available. When will he use it? Trying to dodge out on Quixote. Knockup comes through. The rest of Nova are splitting the fight, but Team Flash, they got their chase. Can Long and Neon equalize? Shy faces the judgment of the Masia. And now the fight continues. Team Flash still going forward. Quixote pulling back members, but pretty low on the health bars. And Nova, they're just holding on. Look at all the healing that Remake is throwing in there. They get another kill on Quixote.
And when everything and all of that was happening, the bot lane tower has been destroyed. And let's take a look at that again. It all started because, you know, Shy just wanted to go home, Zisu wanted to go home, they got eliminated immediately. But the fight went so long to the point that Zisu already respawned. And this is a composition, again, that requires everyone from Team Flash to funnel all their damage on a single target, because this is not a heavy damage output composition. They needed Shy to get ahead, they needed Zisu to get ahead. If they don't get ahead, then that's a problem.
And in those kinds of fights, you need frontliners to stand in front of the Jace, in front of the Morgana.
Yeah.
And they didn't have them because the frontliners ran to chase down Ize. They got the Camille. Cool, that's a shutdown. Actually went for the Blade of the Ruin King third item, by the way. So this is even more damage packed in these bursts. As Shy's, speaking of burst, Long just straight up 1v1s. Ultimate use, pops the stasis, burning down, flash into safety. Kyote's here, and will pull back Long. A trade of kills, but so much time spent from Team Flash to get that.
But this is what we're talking about. Every single time you spend a lot of time on the map, they're gonna take something else, and that's another tower down, and that's for Nova.
Nasus takes these so fast. You cannot leave a Nasus in lane alone, and a Hullbreaker Garen in the Baron lane, by the way, taking a turret as well. Okay, I thought maybe they wouldn't go down. A big engage coming in from Empty, but there's no backup. There's no follow-up.
Coyote with a flank, though. He's trying.
That's Rakan ult down. Zissou now on Ragnarok. Coyote with a massive flank through the river, and a double knockup for Empty. Team Flash finally finding something.
Baron?
They're on the Baron.
Yeah, Long is by teleport. He's coming in.
Oh, they're going for the fight. They're going for the fight onto Yami. You got to burst down this Nasus quick. He pops the World Ender. He's still fighting right now. Long joins in. Big burst for Long! Quadra kill for the Echo and a rampage!
What a massive chrono break from Long, and into that, possibly even the end of the game, Kangas!
Oh, Shy not giving him the penta-kill. He was chasing it down, but Nova will at least get an inhib. I don't know if they have enough for the game end, as Shy still has relatively full health bar here, trying to stop the turret take. But Nova almost sealing the deal right there. Is he gonna go for it? Long! He goes down. Shy gets a double kill.
Shy wins the 1v2, and Team Flash gets to live another day. That was a massive fight from Nova. Long with a 3-man collateral, a parallel convergence rather.
Yeah.
There's a teleport. They're going to push the Baron.
We're right back. Nothing happened. Wipe the slate. 20-second death timers on Long and Yami. Team Flash, they get this for free.
Yeah, the fact that Team Flash is just going to say, hey, we can't do anything about that. We're going for the dragon instead. This is good. This resets the tempo. They can push waves much
Flash
better.
can contest. Flash can actually walk in. Long and already TP'd, so we can't do it again. I don't know if Yami has a TP because we don't see the items right now. But Team Flash, they can go Baron straight to dragon, push Team Nova away. Over the wall, Iza could look for something. There we go. Big play from Team Flash. They're still behind 10,000 gold, but this can lengthen the game.
Yeah, this will help them defend from the onslaught of Nova, from their siege, because mid lane is pretty much already open. They have no threat of the Elder Drake spawning anytime soon. Let's take a look at the Coca-Cola pop-off. It all started with Long's teleport in the middle with a parallel convergence stun, and then he was patient for the clue to be in the middle. The burst is just so good.
That was insane right there from Long. This is the jungler everyone fears.
Yeah.
This is the jungler hyped up potentially to be the best in the world. And that was a world-class play.
Incredible, incredible. Again, when we look back at the performance in the WRL, we talked about him a lot being, again, having the most MVP titles, and that's a huge thing. A fight again.
Going for the parallel convergence, doesn't land it onto Quixote.
Flip.
Looks like Team Flash are actually going for the fight right now. Neon flashes away. Iza just says, all right, I'll go in. Now tag me. All right, I'm out. Yami, tag you in. Everybody taking their time to frontline for Nova. And Team Flash don't have the damage to get through any of them. Senna healing them all up to safety. And a 10,000 gold lead is just too much for Baron buffed Team Flash. They tried to make the play happen, but a double kill over to Long, and Nova can just push in even through the Baron buff.
That face dive one shot onto Ellie, massive. Long is huge.
That's game one in the books. Team Nova, the number 3 seed from the WRL, dismantle the number 1 seed from Southeast Asia. The WCS is in shambles now as Team Flash go back to the drawing board and need to find some other way to take down this team.
It was a very difficult early game for Team Flash. Nova basically, just as you said, dismantled the team composition. If they didn't win early, they're going to have a hard time stabilizing the game, getting back into that game. And it all started once more with Ize getting early kills, getting early plates. And again, Long had a lot of shining moments. Again, cannot forget about that quadra kill on that Echo.
Yep.
Woohoo! And that basically solidified that win for Nova.
We talked about the importance of the top half of the map. We were excited about what Team Flash were bringing into it at first, but then we saw Nova was quicker to the punch. They were quicker to the play. They had the lockdown of that Camille, and they were willing to spend their resources to try and get their Baron lane ahead, and it was that determined the outcome of the game. We were talking about that. Even the analyst desk was. So I'd love to bring them back into the conversation because the top half of the map did have a major play in Team Nova picking up that win.
Oh, well, first off, I do want to talk about this major play over here. You guys are so well coordinated. Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good looking
too,
really,
Mika.
really nice. I know. We are. We are.
And then
Because
there's
we
me.
got to just got to take our place over
Honestly,
here.
Els is on our side.
Yeah, it's on our side.
He's matching like the single color. We can put
Exactly,
him there
exactly.
and
You
he
should be over
completes
there.
the line.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we got you, Hells. You're fine. A little bit of coordination there, but thanks, guys, for that. Omo, I am crying.
Look, Mika, it's not over yet. It's just game one, okay? And it's clear to me that Team Flash, that was just a warm-up game for them. They did not do their warm-ups, unlike some of our casters. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
And to be honest, it happened in their first series as well, where in game one, they won, but it was not the most amazing game. But game two was where they really accelerated their game.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I like this copium. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. All right. Okay. But we do have to talk about this because, you know, Hells, you were talking about how, you know, there are a lot of mind games over here. And it looked like, you know, Team Flash, they were quite hesitant with a lot of certain, you know, points.
Yeah, we keep talking about WRL winning, WRL super ahead, but we don't really talk about the specifics about why. And here, there's a perfect example during the first Dragon about why the WRL is just such a strong region. And Nova Esports showed it as well, because you can see it, right? Like, there is a Dragon, Nova Esports is going back. You can see it, Long is going back. Team Flash is going to the Dragon. Start it off. Look at it. You have to start it off. Start it off, take the Dragon, it's free. This is a free Dragon right here. They, like, you see they're hesitating, and now they do it. They're like, okay, it is a free Dragon, but those few seconds, you see those few seconds, takes the Dragon to like 1000 HP, Long goes over the wall, and he steals it. Like, you cannot hesitate. You have to make your plays, and you have to make it happen. If you hesitate, if you make mistakes, Nova is gonna punish you hard for it.
Yeah, that's exactly the case, right? They know how they can lose the game, they know how they can win the game, and they reduce the chances for the opponents to win the game. Look at that snowball coming in from Nova there. And I've said this a million times already, but I'm gonna say it one more time. They call Long the son of the dragon for a reason, right? You start that off against him, you make a mistake on the timing, Nian just staunches you off. It's done. They know they can steal it.
And yeah, in this game, he was also like 7,000 gold ahead in the late game, just a Long special at this point.
A little heartbreaking, right? But there's also the scaling factor there to consider, so we'll talk about that when we get into the draft.
Yeah, and before we get into the draft, actually, Hells, I wanted to point out, you know, there is a little bit of the mind games. Why are you focusing on him? Why are you focusing?
I can't blame them. I look good today.
Oh my God. But yes, Hells, we were talking about how, you know, there are mind games with these WRL teams. I mean, just to show that hesitation that they had when there was just like one member of Nova Esports that was just hovering around there. That was enough to already throw them off and second guess themselves.
You have to play your game. It's not like, you shouldn't be thinking about, okay, we're up against this Chinese team, they're unbeatable, we gotta change up our stuff. No, you gotta play your game because that's what you're best at. So I wanna see Team Flash play their own game, make it happen, don't hesitate, you know, because they can beat them. They did show in this game, in my opinion, that they could potentially beat Nova. But Nova just was the more consistent and the better team again.
I think that's a fantastic point as well. I feel like if you watch a WCS game, you know Team Flash flipped that dragon 100%. Yeah. It's kind of, I get it, you know, you're playing on the world stage, you're playing against one of the best teams in the world coming out of the WRL, you're a little bit more cautious, but two factors, right? One, like you said, you have to play your own game. And number two, if you're playing a comp like that where you have to flip the early game, you cannot hesitate. But, like you said, the silver lining is that we saw in the late game, despite being 10,000 gold down, despite being already outscaled, Team Flash still managed to win some fights.
Definitely. And
do that earlier.
Yeah, crazy, because that composition got outskilled. They had the Olaf, who's a useless champion in the late game, into that composition of Nova. But then they were finally actually able to win fights, as you said. So it's crazy to me that Team Flash, you know, it is taking them time, but it seems like they could potentially get it, right? Like game two, maybe?
We've got a lot of hope here.
Maybe, yeah. There's a lot for the whole day, actually, I feel like, on my end. But Omo, we were talking earlier about the draft. I mean, like, what exactly were Team Flash trying to do with this draft? Because we mentioned earlier, we were scratching our heads a little bit with how they were exactly going to push into the comp that Nova had.
Yeah, their draft is all about tempo, right? You play around the Jace's timings, he pushes his wave, and you basically just play to support that timing. But the problem there is, you look at the team composition that Team Flash was running, if Shy doesn't get a hit on that Jace, you're running a one-threat comp with the Olaf. Everyone else is basically a support. Sinch is there to start the fight, Morgana's utility, Rakan's a support. You don't have threats, and that's the problem. Once you fall behind, if you don't get leads, you're on a timer, and Team Flash, they just failed to execute on that. Don't put yourself on such a strict timer. Give yourself a bit more flexibility in the next game.
I just have to point out, though, that Nova, of course, they looked very, very good. Long was amazing, exactly as how we expected. But, you know, there was that one moment wherein, like, I think Nova went over, they got the Rift Herald or the Baron, I forget which one it was, they got the Rift Herald, then they casually walked in the middle of the mid lane, and you know, you saw Team Flash there. They just basically like, okay, get out of the way, move over, we're gonna go over to Dragon right now. And Team Flash let them, so that was like a bit of the mind games that you were mentioning,
like,
Hels.
just such a dominant performance by Nova. They're like, you know, we do what we want. We don't care what you do. And this is what I want to see Team Flash do on the other end. When they play that early game aggressive composition, they need to be the ones, right? Like, they need to be the ones walking and tell Nova, like, no, get out of my way. I'm going to get this. This is my objective. This is my turret. That's what, like, the roles need to swap.
Yeah, and I like the point that you brought up earlier about, you know, teams just basically playing their own game, because there is so much focus on, you know, oh, how do you beat this team? How do you beat that team? When you're forgetting that, you know, you're not playing towards them. You really have to play your own style.
We saw this happen with Team Queso especially, where they're not playing in their own style and it's just not working. I don't want to see this repeat with Team Flash, because Team Flash is the #1 team from SEA. We know how good they are, and we know there's a potential that they can beat out Nova Esports.
Yeah, the best chance right now. And as you see, of course, from our matches, all WRL teams are playing. This is the first challenger that we have from SEA, and right now it's not looking good, Omo.
Look, I have hope. I'm not really disappointed from that game. I feel like that was Team Flash's warm-up game. And I talked about Acosta's warm-up just now. I think we have a little bit of a special video for that one. We'll take a look at how we warm up before the games.
Oh, yeah. This is how we warm up.
I say we, but it's really not we. It's Mika and Kangas.
Yeah, this is essential, I believe, to esports.
Yes.
You know.
Kangas laugh his ass off in the back.
Yeah. Okay, I have to say, Kangas is surprisingly good at headstands. Okay?
He's a strong dude.
He is surprisingly good. And like I just want to point this out. Look, Kangas was like, Mika, can you teach me how to do a headstand over here? And he just basically like shot up, and I'm like, whoa, you need no teaching at all, mister.
What we didn't get on camera is that I did get up on hands. I got up into a handstand
Yeah,
for like
he did. He's so strong.
For like half a second.
That's difficult. Good job.
It was tough. I wish I had space. I could maybe try and recreate, although the producers are probably freaking out right now. Like, don't hurt yourself, Kangas. Don't do that on stage, but all right. I did not know that was coming up.
Yeah, that was a surprise. It was great.
That was. How come you weren't working out with us this morning, Riku? What were you doing?
I was asleep.
Oh, well, all right.
Next time, maybe.
I taught Mika deadlifts. She taught me yoga.
I saw that. That was amazing.
So it was back and forth. We both were teachers and students on that day. If anybody wants to check it out, make sure to, you know, check us out on Twitter if you want to learn proper deadlift form. Mika has great form already on day one.
Awesome.
The Brazilians weren't impressive. They started trolling her. But I think they're just trolling everyone right now. I think that's just like a general vibe from Brazil.
That's so funny.
But we're getting into pick and ban here for game number 2. So Riku, let's talk about this. I'm going to put you on the spot as the SEA caster. What was going on with Team Flash in that game?
I have a feeling that it is basically Team Flash absorbing what they've been seeing since play-ins, which is, or even past that when they watched the WRL. What they were trying to do is a very standard WRL style, focusing on top and jungle. But one of the biggest strengths that Team Flash had, the thing that we saw back in the WCS, is the early roaming. Coyote enabling that early roam, trying to invade the enemy jungler, and then getting leads through that. So I want to see that happen in game number 2.
The way that you had said it to me off camera was they're playing more like the WRL teams than their own style.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to work against the WRL team because they know how to play that style way better than you if you're trying something that you're not comfortable with. I want to see pivots. I want to see them come in with a different game plan because the early game didn't work, even though Nova are respecting it with the Olaf ban.
Yeah, I'm sure Nova sweat a little bit, right? Because the fact that Team Flash was behind and they were still able to get fights, get Baron. They don't want that to happen again. And here is the bug, the return of this bug. Kha'Zix being one of the most popular junglers in the WRL. Long is going to be using that.
Fun story. Kha'Zix had a negative win rate from play-ins.
Okay.
But yesterday was played enough that now he's up to 52% because he won so much. Because that was my question coming in from play-ins group stage. Now that we see the top teams piloting these champions, do the win rates change? Does the perspective shift anywhere? Because now we see how they're meant to be played. Kha'Zix is scary.
Yeah,
he
can
do a lot.
It's really scary because this is how you can set up with the early skirmishes as well. This is a very high damage output. 2v2 for the top and jungle duo again. But what I like in Team Flash though is that they have the Corki. They have a decent amount of wave clear. They've got good scaling. And Camille, finally we get to see that on Team Flash.
We were hyping that up as one of the picks that they should be pivoting towards. I'm also expecting this to be Hullbreaker, Black Cleaver, Corki. We've been seeing it built a lot, especially into the Assassins, because then you're not going to die in the side lane. He's so cool!
He is super cool.
The AR for Renekton is hands down the coolest. I know that they're all cool in their own way, and we love them all, air quotes equally, but Renekton's the best.
Okay, for me it has to be Set. The way that he punches and then releases a wave of energy.
Cool.
Very cool! Zissou, this could be a Zissou pick or a Coyote pick or a Shy pick. There's a lot of mystery with this Irelia, and we still don't know. Now, this is also a very high damage output, right? This could potentially snowball, and I feel like this is a Shy Zissou combo once more.
All right, sorry, I know that that was analysis, but I'm just looking to see how cool Irelia is. Okay, that's pretty cool too. That does look pretty cool. We have to make a tier list of the AR champions on stage. But now to get back my brain into the analytical mode, because that's where you started off with. What'd you say?
Irelia.
Flexible. We don't know where anybody's going yet, right?
Yeah, we don't know where they're going, but based on what we're seeing with the 2 picks here for Red side, this could potentially be Team Flash saying, Zissou Shy, we're gonna check you with damage as well, and we're gonna do what we do best, which is the mechanics. They're very strong with their mechanics, and this is how they can showcase this.
We were just saying that Team Flash was playing more of a WRL style. Well, now Nova's gonna show us that WRL style with this kind of draft. This is very much a let's get damage early, let's gank the Baron lane, let's get Renekton into this game as quickly as possible, or Jace. Either one of these you're happy with resources funneled into in the early game. I mean, even the Kha'Zix, like all 3 of these, you feel great
You do.
if any of them get a kill early.
You do. Either or, this is incredibly strong. But biggest question is for Nova, what is your CC? Because while you do have a lot of damage, you don't have anything to hold people down on the side of Team Flash. But I suppose the same thing can be done because look at the Galio, look at the Rakan, now banned. So for me, Set would be the next best thing. Gragas as well should be acquired by TF.
So what you're saying is neither of these teams have factored in backing off and preventing the other team. They're both like, no, we're gonna go in harder.
We're going all in as we get to see.
Or we're gonna poke you.
We're gonna poke you.
Yeah.
Yeah. The double poke composition coming from the Ziggs, coming from Ellie or Coyote, whichever. Or I like this. I like this because what we've seen so far, if you have wave clear, you have map space. If you have map space, you can invade the jungle.
Okay.
Wow.
Nova's thrown a wrench in the plan. They now have Peel and the Alistar who can also go in. Orianna plus either Alistar, Renekton, or Kha'Zix, all fantastic ball delivery systems. One of the OGs is the Kha'Zix Orianna, because Kha'Zix jumps in, Orianna can be far enough away and still follow up with a shockwave, and then Kha'Zix just unloads all that damage on that target. Ziggs, Corki, you're gonna have to be very careful here, especially if you don't have your very long cooldown mobility spells available.
Yeah, that's why vision is going to be incredibly important. You're going to be expecting.
Oh, there it is!
Woo! I'm so hyped every time I see that Set AR.
I thought you liked him for the ears, but that's pretty cool.
It's so funny how. Yeah, you're right. Okay, I like the energy wave and then the cat ears.
Okay, so it's tiered.
It's tiered.
On the preference. But the Ziggs plus the Set locked in here, you had been mentioning the Set would be great for this, because again, it can go in, it can provide a little bit of peel. Team Flash have like an insane lockdown one person and make sure they don't die or they don't live.
Yeah.
It's a no fun zone. That's what we're gonna call it. Yeah. Irelia ult with the Camille ult and then Set Ziggs on top of it. That's a no fun zone. You don't want to get in that zone if you're on Nova.
And the best part about that composition is that Team Flash can sit back and relax and see who's the Fed member. Okay, Long's Fed, let's put everything on him. Remove that, no problem. For V5, you'll have a comfortable skirmish or a team fight later on. That's how the system, that's the process of what Team Flash is going to do later.
Let's see if they can make it happen now. Riku, they're down 0-1 in a series, and I know because I have been spending all week with you, with Mika, with Grant, with Elmo, all the SEA fans are throwing their energy at Team Flash right now, saying, please live up to the hype. Please live up to what we were expecting from you coming into Icons, the team that can challenge the WRL. Down in the series, but not out yet. Game 2 loaded in.
Speaking of Game 2, Kangas, when we look back at the play-ins and as of recent events, we've got, remember, Furious Gaming went up against Nova. Nova lost game number 2.
Ooh.
We've got RQ against JDG.
Yeah.
Guess what? RQ won game number 2.
Oh.
This could be another trend happening here, because I feel like Team Flash has a lot of these tools to make that happen.
We won't mention what happened after game 2. But I like the narrative so far. I like how you're painting it as, again, Shine not necessarily getting the better of the matchup here in the level 1. Maybe to be expected with Renekton versus the Camille. Insane high win rate, but was nerfed in the early game on recent patches. So it's more of a scaling pick right now where you'll come online a little bit later. Maybe not where Team Flash are hoping to get their early leads.
I like what Iza did. He planted a very deep ward to make sure, because we know that level 3 gank is going to come, right? So Iza is going to be prepared for that. He knows that the Krugs is gone. He knows that Zisu is going to be starting. He's going to be coming from that brush part of that area.
If he does come towards the top side, because currently Zisu is clearing towards the Dragon lane and could just forego that early gank. Actually even spots out that ward there.
Yep.
With the Scryer's Bloom. So yeah, just paths in towards the bottom half of the jungle. Long will show in the mid lane. I don't think Zisu spotted yet.
Not yet, no. He can try to go in, though.
Okay, he spots. Not going to go for the flawless duet outside of vision. Ooh, that hurts.
Pain.
Onto Coyote, and now he has to Valkyrie away. And Zisu's just going to help him get that wave. Watches where Long goes and says, all right, I'm going to go the other way.
Yeah. All right, Coyote's pretty low. I'm just going to go here instead. This could be a potential 3-man gank. Again, this is the WRL style. Top jungle, include mid.
He sees Long, but he doesn't see Neon. Okay, Shy's playing very safe. He's going to lose an entire wave here.
Ooh, that's pain.
This is what Nova does. This is what the
1v1.
WRL does.
Nope.
They suffocate you.
They do. Because if they don't kill you, they get the turret plates. If they get the turret plates, they get more gold.
If they don't get the turret plates, they'll deny you a wave.
Yep.
If they don't deny you a wave, they'll, you know,
they'll
hit you with an auto. Like, they always get something.
They always get something. Basically, that's a TLDR. And all of these somethings lead into getting the Rift Herald, which is, again, going to get more gold. Again, watch the top portion of the map, because bottom lane, nothing's going to happen there unless Team Flash forces a dive, which is very difficult because Remake has wave clear. Yami can just push you away. Get away from me! You can just say that.
That's what Alistair says?
Get away from
me! I don't remember that being in the voice slides. Hey, that was pretty good, though.
Hey,
that was a pretty good Alistair. Maybe Empty can find something, though. As you were saying, nothing's going to happen. Stun lands onto Remake. Both summoner spells available. We'll use the barrier through the exhaust of Ellie, so... All right, you're fine.
That's a window. I mean, that's a window without Yami, so might as well burn a summoner spell or 2.
He's 2 levels up over Shy right now. Just hits level 5, so X-Cycle Ultimatum now online.
Oh my. Yeah, that wave was pain.
These
Losing
are
that wave was pain.
WRL laners.
Yeah. And we'll see now, because Long is positioned right here, so this could be an engage from Yami coming right in. And it's highly possible. Still has Flash, he has Ignite, he's ready to kill.
I'm looking at Empty. You know, Remake doesn't have the barrier. Does have Flash, but if you find that big Flash face breaker into Showstopper, you can pull him back in. Ellie, if you're ready for it, you can actually time the Mega Inferno Bomb to land exactly where the Showstopper's landing. Like, there are combos they could go for, but as I said, Empty is going for the reset, will not look to punish the barrierless Orianna.
I think the difference now for the team composition of Team Flash is that they have a lot of scaling options. If the game is slow, that's totally fine for them, because the Ziggs is going to scale. This is going to turn into a poke composition that is able to match Nova's 5v5 in the 3rd Dragon, in the 2nd Rift Herald. So now my biggest question would be a trade that can potentially happen after game number 1. Of course, you want to take it easy, especially you have that blanket of that late game.
I don't think Nova's interested in trading. I think they want to make a play before the objectives spawn. Try and shut Shy down as Yami with the knock-up. Hextech ultimatum flash from Shy. He gets out. That was pretty well played. And now Yami very low in health. They're going for the turret, but Empty's here. He can defend this.
Yeah, really nicely done by Empty here. The tower will not fall in time for the Rift Arrow!
Oh, but the flash engage right on Aza. And that is first blood picked up by Zissou.
And that's how you do it. Really nice timing, really good read. This is what they do all the time before the Rift Herald spawns. They're going to try to dive you, get Rift Herald control, get gold. Again, this is very nicely done read by Team Flash.
But again, what do the WRL teams do? If you find a kill, if you find a play, they'll take your turret plates in the bottom lane. And they're actually first, maybe not first to the objective, they're first to the Dragon. It should be traded here. Zissou's on the Herald. But even with all the poke on the side of Team Flash that you were talking about, the poke's not ready to push off Team Nova. So it is Dragon for Herald.
I think that's the difficult part when you have to go up against WRL. You have to have both good, no, not good. You have to both have amazing defense and amazing offense.
Oh, speaking of the defense, not a lot right now. Zissou, almost gets out, just goes right to the turret, says, all right, I can get a little more damage on it, but it doesn't even fall. Nova stopped the turret take.
That's definitely not what you want. The fact that the tower didn't go down, the fact that First Blood Tower is still up for grabs.
Oh, and Yami right under the turret says, all right, you just kind of knocked me further into you. I guess I'll just go for the kill. Sorry, Remake, I know you wanted this, but it's mine. It's Yami. Takes down Ellie.
I heard the cowbell tonk.
Ooh, Neon flashes away. Oh, the hook shot not quite in range. Neon playing on the knife's edge right there. But because Flash Spend members bot side, that is turret taken for Nova. Now 3,000 gold lead.
And that is the reason why Team Flash wanted the Rift Herald earlier. They wanted to get that First Blood extra gold.
Yep.
And now Nova, again, is right on track. They're 3K gold lead ahead. And the fact that Remake already has Seraph's Embrace, everything fully stacked. So from earlier, if they could kill him, nearly killed him, now it's harder, even harder to kill him.
Nova looking to make this a 2-0 with an early gold lead, but package for Coyote could mean rough news for them. Oh, that looked very funny. I was like, that's not how far headbutts usually go. But it was, of course, the package used by Coyote. They won't get the turret. Dominus popped by Iza.
5v5 though, this could be.
Forward, doesn't flash. I thought maybe he would just flash in for Yami. Looking for the cheeky proto belt into the pulverize. Not finding it, just headbutts, Coyote away. Valkyrie available, actually not. He flashed instead, and Nova find Empty. Yami taking up with the Unbreakable, even in the Hextech ultimatum. He's alive, long under the turret! Answered back by Zissou, long in trouble. He's jumping away, but Shy chases him down. Yami over the wall again. This cow is crazy! As Nova get another kill under the bottom turret. Coyote goes down. It's a 3-for-2, 3-for-3 trade at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's really nice still for Team Flash. Now they want to take this mid lane tower, open up the map even more, see if they can get more exchange. They don't get it.
Neon answers, instead of trading for the bottom turret, he says, all right, I will defend mid. We don't want to give any purchase to Team Flash.
Let's take a look at that again. It was a potential 5v5. You can see that Ellie was walking at the bottom portion of the map, but Yami started this one out with the big knock-up, or rather push on towards Coyote. The bomb unfortunately didn't hit too much. Everybody is pretty much low. But the key thing here is that Zissou is pretty much still alive. Ooh. That was a massive shockwave, by the way. But Zissou is still alive all this time. All he can do is dash, finish off low health targets, and then be able to recover. Divine Thunder again is helping both Shy and Zissou in these long extended fights. We're gonna see that some more after.
Outside of the last headbutt pulverize from Yami where he went a little too far in, I think he was trying to get the kill onto, I believe it was Zissou right there, but then doesn't actually find it. He played that so well. Yami's Alistair is actually just the MVP of these fights. It is insane to watch how much work he is doing on his own.
Yeah, he's also that big massive deliverer of that shockwave, right? That was absolutely scary. And now you can see the defense of Team Flash at the moment, right? We're seeing Coyote at the bottom portion of the map.
You can see Quixote maybe just dying. Yeah,
I
he doesn't
hope
have the
not.
Valkyrie. He doesn't have Flash. He's not quite enough damage, but he has the Flash. He
He's
can
playing
go
with
in.
fire here.
If he gets the Rage Bar up, Quixote's got to be very careful. The stun, the damage. He's got it! Under the turret. Goes deep, but gets it regardless. Now, uh-oh, Team Flash engage on again. That's a big shockwave yet again. Empty looks for the Flash. Showstopper finds it onto one. But again, Yami just saying you can't do anything, Jisoo. You can't even auto-attack a single carry on my team because you got a big old cow in front of you. And Nova win another fight.
That's insane. The plays that Yami is doing right now, not letting anyone escape from Team Flash. This is a massive cow right here.
It's the biggest cow I've ever seen. This is a state fair winning prized cow. Yami walking away with a gold medal after this one. Just can't die.
No.
He's so annoying.
It's super annoying. Proto Belt, Flash plays, again, every single thing. And moving towards top side with a big 1v1 with Coyote and Yize, because of the 1v1, now he has a Bork completed, and he's gonna get even scarier.
Oh, that hurts. And on top of that,
yeah,
on top of the individual lead for Yize, 7,000 for Team Nova.
Yeah.
The WRL came to play.
They
as
do.
They are again dismantling Team Flash. This could be the last fight. This is for Dragon. This is for not Soul. Oh, okay. Didn't quite catch along right there. Team Flash are looking for it. They're playing with the idea of an all-in, but they haven't found it yet. And I think they've been conditioned by Yami at this point. Trying to use the poke of the Ziggs. Trying to use the poke of the Corki instead.
Oh, they're going in though.
Never mind, no poke. We're just going all in on the fight, the engage. Massive from Team Flash, but watch the log of the back line. Huge from Empty right there. Just spotting out the assassin, but he's just taken down by the assassin. It doesn't matter. Team Nova are just that far ahead, and they straight up won for 5. Prime Gaming Ace Team Flash.
Again, it is the onslaught of Yize and Long once more, the top jungle duo of Nova. Incredibly strong, massive fight. The way that Yize basically 1v3'd the carries of Team Flash, they couldn't kill him. He was still surviving, and Nova gets more gold.
And the fact that Empty showstoppers Long, like, get away from my carry. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Now I'm 1v1 in the bug.
It's so difficult because you don't know who you're going to focus on. Who do you want to zone out of this fight? Because at this point, Shy, this is the combo that we were talking about, right? With the Mega Inferno Bomb, Hectic Ultimatum, everything there. But once the dominance was activated here by Yize, Shockwave onto 3 people, the target prioritization of Nova, Yize just killed everyone one by one. The efforts of MT, unfortunately, wasn't enough by holding. When he held down Long, nope, Yize is still also a big problem.
And it looked like Hempty had already used the Haymaker, so he didn't have that big shield after ulting away Long. So Long's like, well, you're just a set with just a little bit of armor. So I'm just going to kill you, and then I'm just going to kill your carry in Quixote. And Nova on the brink of 2-0ing yet again. They have lost 1 game in all of Icons so far in the play-ins to Furious. And they're so close to taking down the #1 seed representative from the WCS, the team that we've been hyping up as the promised challengers to the WRL. Nova showing the WRL are to be feared.
They're incredibly strong. Despite Team Flash trying to up that aggression to match Nova's incredibly strong top and jungle, Yize and Long, it was still the WRL way of getting turrets across the map, turret plates, gold across the map, and propelling them into a very scary team fight assembly.
Nova just need 1 more fight, Riku.
Yeah.
If they can get that 1 final play, this game could be over at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
Flash have a mountain to climb if they even hope to come back into this game. It's going to be about the little things. It's going to be about the little steps, 1 rung of the ladder at a time. Start with a pick. Start with a little bit of vision control to get to that pick. Anything you can find. Maybe a package, but they actually don't go for it. Quixote's not opting for the package right now. It looks like they're going to save it for maybe the Elder Dragon, if I gotta guess.
Yeah, they're gonna save that, find a proper timing because they don't have vision. They don't have information on where to go just yet. So this is a smart call from Team Flash to reserve that when it is a prime time for them.
Kyote's got to be careful right now. He's walking up. Oh, he didn't spot him.
Oh, there.
Okay, there.
Now
Now we should know. That was a precarious position.
That was too scary
he's
for
fine.
him. Yeah, he's okay. But now Team Flash is going to be wary for the Baron, basically. This is the thing that Nova can bait out. They're in a very comfy spot to take fights. Bait Team Flash out. And we talked about earlier in the draft where they have Hextech Ultimatum and all of these combos. Whoever is fed, that's where they're going to funnel everything onto. But the problem is, there's Ize and Long being massive monsters in this game right now.
I think they saw the 50% damage dealt from Zissou and Shy, and we're like, let's try that ourselves.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun. Yami gets an engage, no follow-up from the rest of Nova, so Team Flash are fine right there. But I love what Nova's doing. They're just, throwing out these jabs. They haven't thrown the Haymaker yet. They're throwing jab after jab, just wearing down Team Flash here, all the while Ize literally an item and a half up over Shy in the side lane. So, what's this Camille supposed to do to answer the Renekton? He can provide all this pressure, and then Nova can look for the 1-4.
For me, Team Flash still has access to win this fight. They have the Ziggs, they have Coyote on this Corki, massive poking potential in Elder Drake fights and in Baron takes.
Sure.
So if Nova pulls the trigger, if they go Elder Drake first, Baron first, then that's the time these picks, Ellie and Coyote, can shine.
You gotta land that poke, and also, like you had said, if Elder Dragon's poking as well, helping you out there.
Yeah, that's true.
That's your extra, half a champion in that fight.
Yeah.
And we haven't yet seen Flash go for this long fight. They haven't gone for the poke and then back off, poke and back off.
Yep.
They've gone for one round of poke, and then Shy goes in, and Zissou goes in, and they haven't whittled down Nova in these fights, in these skirmishes. So Nova's always able to take pretty much a full health fight.
Yeah, exactly, right? It was, when we look back at the previous fights, it's always Team Flash pulling the trigger. It has to be poke, 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 then pull the trigger, finish off targets with the execute with Zissou and Shy. They have a lot of engage, they have a lot of team fight engage. But I think the biggest problem that they're facing right now is Yami.
Yeah.
Keep poking from far away. Yami is not going to hesitate to pull the trigger. Now, Elder Drake has spawned. This is the time to poke, 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 and then execute, and then engage.
All right, Team Flash, you heard from Riku. Use your range, use your abilities to try and get a health bar lead. Neon actually went for a reset. Package is available for Quixote. They're going for it. Okay, Quixote is actually just 1v1ing Long right now with the whole breaker. Oh, but he packages the other way. Now he's a flash stun onto Zissou, and that could just be the end of the game right there. Nova with another team fight win. 3-0 for now, and they're going to chase down the remaining members of Team Flash. It's just Quixote and Ellie. They have no front line. Okay, flash away from Yami. They have the poke. That's all that's left. But he's a slice and dice in for the kill. Ellie, how good's the Ziggs wave clear? Can you make the last stand happen? Because that will be an Elder Dragon picked up for Team Nova.
This is too difficult, right? They've got 2 Dragon stacks. They've got the Elder Drake as well on their side, and even Baron. I do not think Coyote, Corki, and Ellie Ziggs can defend from all of this.
18,000 gold lead.
Massive!
And 18 minutes. Not what we expected going into this match, but Nova are showing again. Yeah, Team Flash were hyped, but maybe a little overhyped as Long goes straight on into Ellie. In a 1v2 scenario, he's gonna take the 1v2. It's actually Yami that gets the kill credit right there, but Shy on the wrong side of a bug and a cow. Zissou goes in for one final stand. Nova say, is this your challenger? Is this your champion? Team Flash fall, China 2-0, and Nova, the first team to qualify for the knockout stage of a dominant win.
And the WRL are undefeated once more for the entirety of Icon so far. This is, again, the statement that a lot of people are saying. It is the WRL, and then it's the rest.
TJ said something in one of our earliest meetings of the entire event. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 4 WRL teams in the semifinals. That's my TJ impression.
That is pretty accurate,
And I'm
dude.
starting to believe. I mean, I was already starting to believe back in play-ins. It's likely. It's probable at this point.
Yeah.
That was the number 3 seed from the WRL, and look at them on stage. They're calm. They're cool. They're like, yeah, that was Team Flash. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
that seemed like a very standard Nova game where it felt like they didn't sweat at all. They were chill. They were cool.
I don't think I've ever seen them above like a 5. If they beat like JDG or FPX at some point, come on, you got to bring out the energy at that point, right?
Yeah. You got to do that.
But that's just how calm they were in that entire series. I never noticed nerves. I never noticed like little mistakes. At the end there, when it was Team Flash, you know, the package backwards, the engage coming in from Zissou, not quite landing the flawless duet, and then he's caught out. It's like some of those things, I mean, already at that point, the game was pretty rough. But we didn't see anything like that from Nova. They played those fights so well. They just always knew the limits of where they could play, and they played within those bounds.
Exactly. Everything was just so clean from them. Early game, again, we saw them not getting First Blood Tower at top side, not getting a kill. And
that was big.
And then, okay, we're going to just take more gold elsewhere in the map, the opposite part of the map where you're not there and can't defend. I swear, the WRL teams are a very hard code to crack. And I mean, we've seen teams like Nova and JDG lose a game within a series, but series-wise, they still look pretty solid. It's like, they're unstoppable.
As you see, Team Flash, a little despondent.
Yep.
A little down on their luck right there. They're going to have to go back and, you know, check the tape, figure out what went wrong. They still are a very strong team in this group, and there's a reason that they were able to so easily dismantle T1 earlier on in the group stage. But I think we just learned that Nova is that tier above. So Mika and the analysts, I hate to say it, 0% prediction rate so far for the so-called experts. Oh, and I see Omo, it looks like you don't have as much apparel on as you did at the start of the show. What's going on?
What happened to your shirt inside your shirt?
Please don't make him do it. Please don't make him do it.
My heart's already broken, man.
All our hearts are broken, to be honest, after that one.
Pretty much. Omo, this was supposed to be our biggest hope here for the Attack on Titan storyline that we had, but we saw how well Nova played. We saw Long, actually, he was pretty much directing everything.
Yeah, this is about, I think, 90%, right? We're close to 100% of Long. I mean, I don't mind that Team Flash lost, even though we all predicted Team Flash to win. It's more about the manner in which they lost. That was kind of brutal, Mika.
It's a 24,000 gold lead?
Ooh, yes.
Long is enjoying this.
And because they're enjoying it, because they're the very first team to make it to the knockout stage, by the way.
That's pretty much what Team Flash saw. It's Long coming at them just that close.
When Long uses the Kazakhs out, he creeps up on you. That's exactly
what you see. This is exactly what you see. And with Nova cheering in the back as well. But Hells, that's exactly what they see when the team fights start, because it was insane.
Yet again.
This was cute. He put it in the face of his coach. Yeah, man, you look great, brother.
Nova was just incredible. Yet again, like, just their team fighting was so good every single time. Everyone did what they had to do. Like, here you'd think Nova got caught, and sure they did get caught, but it doesn't really matter. This is just the early game, because once it got into the late game, once it got to those late game team fights, that's where Nova just played it perfectly. They won. Like, here is an example, right? Nova just doesn't lose these.
Yeah, Nova does the early game well. They know what their win conditions are. And look at this late game team fight here. That shockwave from Remake was obviously great, but credits to Team Flash as well. Both of these teams played this team fight to the limit. Look at the health bars.
This right here was the best fight for Team Flash. Just so you guys know, like, this was an even fight, and Nova hard dived the turret.
Yeah.
And if we look into another fight, the story is obvious, right? Like, you can see Team Flash did have a good dive, however.
This fight, I thought, was the best fight that Team Flash were going to get, and that's because of MT here. Look how he just zoned Long out of the fight. fight completely.
then
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's all easy. It's entirely the Renekton show.
Ise was 5,000 gold ahead of Shy, and here you can see it, you can feel it. He goes in, he kills everyone, he does what he has to do during every single team fight. And yet again right here, I believe this is the last team fight during that Elder Dragon, and Ise is the one that goes in.
Just everyone here knows what their win condition is. Last fight, MT knew he had to zone Long. This time, Long knew as well. He uses out to force away Coyote's package before the fight even started. Just such good identifying of how we need to play out the team fight from both of these teams. But at the end of the day, Nova just did it better.
And I think we also just have to applaud Yami, who just wouldn't die at all, I feel, in that game. It's so indicative, of course, of how well WRL
Let's look at
plays.
this. Oh,
where did he go?
Oh.
Where did it already just go, right?
Just disappeared.
like
Definitely. Talking about Yami that Mika just mentioned, like, he can play it all. He played the Yumi to funnel to the jungle. Now he plays the Alistar to do the engages. And it just really seems like it's the perfect playstyle for him. But it's not just one playstyle. He does every single playstyle. You'll have a lot of these supports. You know, they're engaged specialists. They're roaming specialists. Enchanter specialist, but this guy, he does it all, and it feels like he's better than all of the specialists as well.
You know, we were coming into today saying that maybe today would be the day that WRL would bleed, right? But it's not even that they won't even play close. It's that they showed us a new facet of their gameplay. We've been seeing them play scaling because they're like, yeah, you know, we can just chill. No pressure to do anything. We just play scaling comps, go to late game, team fight, win. Today they play pressure comps.
Yeah.
Today they play Renekton Kazakhs. They played early game. We saw what they did to Team Flash there. And if you guys are not scared, then, well, I don't know what to tell you.
So I have to ask, Omo, do you think there was any hope for Team Flash in that last game?
Nah.
Oh,
Yeah, last game was over, yeah.
It was pretty
Where's
brutal.
the copium? I need it again.
It was just brutal indeed. Like, I actually don't even think there's any hope for any outside China team to beat them.
RRQ! RRQ.
That's
There
next
is,
series.
yeah, that's where we say, no, there is another. There is another going into our next series. But before that, I just want to wrap up just how well Nova looks. I mean, like, they look very, very good. We often talk about Fun Plus Phoenix as like the big sort of like, you know, the big, you know, monster here
that's the monster
at Icons. But Nova, they also look pretty scary. I would say even scarier than JDG.
I mean, how do you even know that? Like, as I said, we haven't seen the full
they haven't been
potential
tested.
yet. We haven't seen the, like, is this even the full potential of Nova? Like, Team Flash was
80%.
easy. It was easy for them. Like, I want to see a team push these Chinese teams to the edge, push them to just show us 100% of their potential, so we can finally start judging them.
Well, hopefully it's the team behind us right now. We hear the shouts, we hear the hooping and hollering. That's why you love them, right? RRQ, that's our next matchup, and that's the one that I have hopes for, Mika.
Yeah, me too. I have high hopes indeed. And that means Nova Esports, with that match concluding, they are the first team in our knockout stage. And I think there's no surprise there. We pretty much knew that the WRL teams were going to go, we're going to have a pretty easy time so far here. I'm just really curious as to how, you know, the big question is that whether gods can bleed. I'm so distracted.
I can't keep a straight face when RRQ's behind me.
I can hear them shouting, of course. The big question is whether gods bleed here on this stage. So far,
nope.
We could see a potential of 4 WR teams only from today in the knockout stage already, which only leaves 4 more spots open for the rest of the world. I mean, come on, China, you gotta give us some spots as well. This is a little too much.
I know. High hopes, hopefully, for the next series. But, you know, it is also, you know, it was undeniable. Nova Esports played to a T perfectly, almost a perfect game.
Like, there was no chance for Team Flash.
Yeah, and I mean, what was scary about Nova that game is not only the fact that they could play to the early game, but all 5 members played extremely well. We talked about Iza, we talked about Yami. Remake did a great job with his Orianna. His Senna spacing was fantastic as well. And I think the end coming as a sub, a lot of pressure on him. He had very big shoes to fill, and I think he's been performing admirably.
But there is still hope for Team Flash, though. There is still hope that they take that second slot into the knockout stage. They will take that second slot into the knockout stage. But in the meantime, we have an interview with Nami standing by. Over to Digon.
After defeating the #1 seed from the WCS Team Flash, I'm joined by support player Yami from Nova. Yami, you've now qualified to the knockout stage. How do you feel?
你们现在成功的晋级到了我们的淘汰赛，现在心情怎么样呢？
就很开心嘛。
Pretty happy about this.
Of course. You did it on the back of both Nasus and Alistair, specifically on the Alistair game. You played fantastic. What was game 2 like for you?
你在第2局的时候使用了牛头，然后发挥的非常的好。这个英雄这场比赛对你来讲感觉怎么样呢？
就是第一次全球赛事的牛头首秀。
It's my first show for the Alistair in Icons.
Yeah, and it looked really good. I think a lot of the reason why you've looked good is your relationship with Remake. What is that like?
你和 Remake 的关系感觉是比赛当中很重要的一个因素，怎么形容一下你们的关系呢？
就是一起打了很多年的兄弟。
Actually, we have been played together for a long time, maybe several years. So we are like the good brothers, like a family.
Oh, yeah, it definitely shows. The WRL has been so dominant. Why do you think the WRL has been the best region so far?
WRL 现在是比较具有统治性的，你觉得为什么呢？
就是因为大家就个人能力比较强嘛，然后战术针对也是比较刁钻的，就给的压力很大，在 WRL。
I think our personal strategies and our abilities are better than other regions, so we give other regions much of the pressure.
I think the big thing that I want to know is, what have you learned here at Icons?
那你觉得你在 Icons 当中学到的最多的东西是什么呢？
心态吧。
It's about my maybe emotion for the game.
And then finally, as you have made it to the knockout stage, is there any teams that you want to or don't want to play?
到了淘汰赛，最想遇到的和最不想遇到的队伍是哪一个？
最不想遇到的肯定是WRL的所有队伍。
I don't want to play against any teams from WRL.
I think everyone feels that way right now. Again, thank you so much, Yami. Thank you for the translations. All right, we'll send it back to you, Mika.
I love that the only thing that scares China is China itself. I mean, Yami said it himself, I don't want to go up against